All right, so one of the things that I always ask myself, and this is something that I think that everybody should be asking themselves, whenever they learn something new, whenever they're working on something, and the question is, was I wrong? That's the question. I noticed that when I was doing the gravel, the fry grunt, and all these different things that I talked about, that the fry scream was much easier for me to do. Okay? It's much easier for me. And I started listening to other vocalists, other singers, and I noticed that many of them were doing some things that I just physically couldn't do. Okay? So it made me think, well, what if I'm just simply wrong about this thing? Because the fry scream, while it does work for like shadows, I'll make a beast out of myself, stuff like that, it does work. That's what he's singing. That's how he's doing it. Okay? Instead, I want to get more of a wailing type sound. It doesn't work quite as well. You're always going to be kind of, well, I mean, you can do it. Chester Bennington obviously did some stuff like that. I mean, there's plenty of singers that did, but if I want to get more of a wailing sound, it's kind of, I found that actually I can do that and not have as much gravel on there by doing the grunt, the compression scream, okay? And I found that I have to place it in the right spot. So before, when I was doing these videos, I was placing it right here. Okay? No, it's going to trap it down in the chest voice, okay? Yeah! Yeah! Okay? And I can add a lot more strength into the notes, a lot more compression, which is actually going to make it easier to sing through the upper register. And then if I just simply keep it on a really, really small, yeah, okay, like Axl Rose small, it's going to go right up. And that was something that I just don't think that I got right. But anyways, so here's the compression scream, okay? Here's how it really works. And this is actually kind of a cool scream. I actually do like the way that it sounds. I think it sounds actually pretty good now that I've got it down and I've been working it for a little bit. First things first, it's a new scream. My voice is not used to it, so I am kind of losing my voice. I'm having a little bit of trouble here. I'll be fine. Who I'm worried about is you. Okay? So, when you're doing it, you have to make sure that you're resonating the voice in the right spot. Okay? You want to make sure that everything is really, really pinging into the mask, into the nose, into this whole area right here. If you're not, you're going to have some real problems. You're not going to get through to the top register. You're going to really start losing your voice, and it's not going to sound good. And so you've got to really thin the voice out far more than you think that you ever should. You got to really pull back on volume as well. It's not that you're not yelling. You're yelling. You are going to be putting some volume into it, but you're not just shouting. Okay, shouting will never get you there. Okay, and then you also need to have the glottal compression, and it really, all of these things need to be taken care of before you even get into the sound. Okay, so for example, you have to have a lot of glottal compression, and you got to really pull back to leave that room for that little to come in. Yeah! Okay? And that's where it is. And it's not easy to get into. It's really not. But it's essentially you're pulling back on the sound, okay? Pulling back on all of the volume, and then you're kind of just getting it in there with the glottal compression like you would with a grunt. So it's okay? But you got to get it down clean first, okay? And when you're going through the upper register, you really got to bang it in the mask. You got to really, really get it into the mask. Like harder than you ever would for any other technique. With the fry scream, yeah! That stuff's easy. Yeah! Nothing difficult about it in the upper register. But a lot of times it's not what I want to sound like. It's going to be, yeah! Nail in my head! It stays in the upper register. Whereas, nail in my you know, I can get through to the lower register much easier like that. Now it's a lot of work. You've got to really push, but it is easier to do that way. As far as singing goes, as far as the sound goes, I mean, yeah! I mean, that stuff's still freaking awesome. Oh, well, I'm losing that because I'm tired. Whoa, let's see here. Oh, the blood's on the wall, so you might as well just admit it. No, I still got it pretty much. And bleach out the stains, coming to forgetting it. It's hard though. It's definitely tired. Definitely tired. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Over and out.